Hello and welcome to happilyeducated.com. So 2 weeks ago, I wrote a post in which I confessed that I have not been making any effort recently to do good in the formal sense. And what I meant by this is simply that I have not been doing any volunteer work, which I'm embarrassed to admit because I think that volunteer work is super important and I admire people who volunteer. Now, although I have no excuse, I do have an explanation of sorts, and that's what I wanted to talk about in this post. You see, instead of focusing on doing good, I've been focusing on doing no harm. And so this post is entitled The Hippocratic Oath because that is the oath that some doctors take, pledging to do no harm. And just a little fun fact on the side here, the Hippocratic Oath, the original version, also contains all sorts of other interesting ethical directives for doctors, such as that they should not have sex with the people at the houses they visit for medical purposes. But actually those aspects of the oath are completely irrelevant to this discussion. So, moving on. I think doing good is great, but I also think it's kind of pointless if you cancel out all your good deeds by doing equal or more harm. And the problem is that it is really hard to avoid doing harm. Even if you think you're doing good, your actions may involve some element of harm. For example, it's very common to hear stories of some group of do-gooders who go into a disadvantaged community with excellent intentions looking to lend a helping hand, and in the process they completely undermine some aspect of that community's functioning that was working just fine previously. And so for me, about 2 years ago, I started thinking about the harm that I do in my daily life, and let me tell you, it was not pleasant. I realized that I unconsciously do quite a bit of harm just by living a normal American life. For example, although I can't be certain, it seems quite likely that the majority of my clothes were made in sweatshop-like factories by people who were being paid an unfair wage. And even this t-shirt I'm wearing right now, made in Haiti. And a quick Google search turned up several recent articles about how clothes made in Haiti for Americans are undermining the Haitian economy, even though a lot of those factories were started after the Haiti earthquake to create jobs for the Haitian people. So it's just like you're screwed either way is kind of what it feels like. And the most ironic part, I got this t-shirt at a fundraising event for a local hospital. So really, it's like lose-lose. Anyway, the harm I do does not end there. Every time I turn on the lights or take a hot shower or drive my car, I'm polluting the environment. Similarly, if I purchase a movie or song that, glorifies violence or objectifies women, I am essentially promoting those same messages. Or, the food I eat. Chances are that most of the food I eat harms the environment in some way, the production of it, that is. And certainly, the packaging on that food is harmful, even if I faithfully recycle everything I can. And recycling is a great example of how doing good can totally backfire. I don't know all the ins and outs of our recycling system and how various materials are recycled, but I do know that one, sometimes recycling uses more energy than it saves, and two, a lot of the materials, especially electronics that we send out for recycling, end up being shipped to third world countries where they are processed in toxic and dangerous ways, sometimes by children. So anyway, please don't misunderstand me, I'm not saying that we should stop recycling, but I am saying that our recycling system maybe needs some improvement and that doing good can be harmful. So, it seems to me that there are only two groups of people who can, if they want to, truly succeed in doing no harm. And these groups are ascetics and the rich. Now, ascetics succeed in doing no harm simply by not using any resources in the first place. The rich can, but often don't, avoid doing harm by using their time and money to make sure that the materials they use, the things they buy, are both ethically and sustainably produced. So for example, a rich person can afford to buy only organic, fair trade food and clothes. Similarly, he or she can buy the most energy efficient car or house. And for this reason, I believe that the richer you are, the greater your responsibility is to do no harm. And I realize this may be a very unpopular point of view. Now, unfortunately, I am not rich. Although I would love to replace our ancient oil furnace with a geothermal heating system for this coming winter, doing so would literally bankrupt us. So we'll be switching to natural gas instead, which is certainly better than oil, but far from harmless. And as for, other products, we really try to make minimally harmful purchases, but we often fail. Both because we can't afford the best option and because we just don't have time to figure out what the best option is in every case. And trust me, this is something I find really, really frustrating. Now, living like an ascetic is a more realistic option for us, except that poor Jeff did not know he was signing on for that when he married me. We've already taken quite a few steps to reduce the harm we do, but I cannot possibly expect the guy to give up every modern convenience tomorrow. And furthermore, I'm not so sure that I'm ready to do that. I would like to keep living a fairly normal life. I don't mind being a little bit strange, but I don't want to become a complete social misfit. So I look forward to the day when I can honestly say that I do no harm. And it would very, very, very much help, if our whole society kind of shifted in that direction. Because then individuals like me who would like to do no harm or would like to live harmlessly can do so without being social misfits. Thus, I suppose this post is sort of a plea to others out there to join me. Because the more people that are striving to live harmlessly, the less of a weirdo I will personally be. So if you're looking to do a little soul searching, if you're in the mood for that, you might consider what harm you do in your daily life. And if you think you do no harm, well, you have not thought about it hard enough. Or maybe you've already taken a lot of steps to avoid doing harm, in which case I applaud you and admire you and truly hope to emulate you. So please let me know what it is that you're doing and how you've made it work. And that's it for today's post. So thank you for watching, take care, and until next time, happy learning.